Hello everybody, Happy New Year. Today is the 1st of January 2022 and today I've got a awesome video for you. I have gone down the rabbit hole with Magic the Gathering at this new club. Haven't even played a game of Paper Magic yet and I'm already spending I think it's somewhere in the realm of over £300 now, or just under, somewhere near that. So before I ended up buying one of each of those theme boosters for Crimson Vow, which, yes, I know, looking back on it, with hindsight, they're really bad value. However, they are a good value, I think, if you're going the way that I'm going, which is I'm actually going to make a cube. I'm going to make a set cube for Crimson Vow. Depending on how easy it is and how it's received, I will probably end up expanding that into Innistrad, taking into account Midnight Hunt as a separate set. But then if I need to, if we got a really big players one day, we can combine them and it should be really, really fun. Never done a cube before, but set cube seems awesome for the Innistrad block. Everybody loves the Innistrad block. I don't know anybody who doesn't. So yeah, I ended up picking six theme boosters, one of each, and it got me a pretty substantial amount of commons and uncommons. Ended up picking up a Chandra in either one of the theme boosters or in the pre-release kit, because that's the second thing I bought. I bought a pre-release kit which was 6 draft boosters, I want to say, and yeah, so that's really, really fun. But I also ended up buying all of the accessories as well that I needed for playing Magic for the first time. So a load of deck boxes, a big card storage thing, which is £35 by itself. Load of sleeves, 3 boxes of sleeves. Not nearly enough for a draft, but enough to do a couple of decks leading up to that, as I am busy buying them and trading them. And I actually think that Crimson Vow, if you want to do a set, do Crimson Vow, because even if you have to resort to buying the more expensive singles, the cost of the set overall is really low. A basic rare / mythic, the highest one that they have is £20 or something. Not taking into account special borders and foils and stuff like that, just the regular card, which is all you need. It's a really low value set, but it is a fun set. It has a load of really cool mechanics. The werewolves, I believe, have actually finally been fixed. I was never a fan of werewolves in the first 2 sets. Actually didn't play the second set, but I know they were the same. But I remember when Innistrad first came out, they people would do the Huntsman decks, and that was about it. No, I didn't see anybody actually do a proper werewolf deck, because they just couldn't get the mechanic off the ground. But they've changed it, and it's a bit more streamlined with this day and night cycle. Where it's basically, I think it's based on your turn and their turn independently, and there's dedicated cards to turn it into night and day, whereas they didn't have that in the original Innistrad block, which they really could have needed it. Even if they didn't change the mechanic, just a way to force that mechanic to change would have been good. But alas, they did not. So today I've actually got two things. So I have this bundle. So this was actually a snap purchase. I expected this to have draft boosters actually, but I looked on the box and it's actually set boosters, which is really cool. Because the second thing that I bought was a set booster box. So I've got 38 set boosters to open, and I did that instead of the draft box purely because I don't need full sets of commons and uncommons. I've already made a substantial dent in it. These 38 packs should get me all, if not like most, if not all, of the commons and uncommons that I need, and the few that I'm missing should be very easy to trade for in my local group. I didn't ask, I should have asked today if the local store, which is the Hobbit Hole in Chatteris, if that is any, if they sell singles, but I don't think they do. They have a small eBay store that focuses mainly on miniatures, but that's about it. I don't think they do singles, so it's all got to be based on the trading. In terms of the amount of Magic players that we have, there's usually a couple that come down every Tuesday to the club, although I'm hoping my additional presence will incentivize others, especially if I'm bringing down cubes, which is something different than what most people down here do. So I'm hoping that we'll get more people down on the regular Tuesday night. But the store itself also does Friday Night Magic, and apparently people flock to it. Not many people from where I actually live in Chatteris, but at least like from the surrounding areas, all flock into the Hobbit Hole. So there seems to be a reasonable player base down here, but I haven't seen them in person, so I can't say that definitively. But obviously, I want to say that yes, it's good. So yeah, I mean that's enough talking. That's the situation so far. Bought the bundle, as said, on a snap decision, because I didn't have everything that they stocked on their website. So I thought that they had ran out of them, but they didn't. And yeah, I needed the lands. So that was it. That's my reasoning behind it. I needed the lands. So I've opened it up, like just the cellophane wrap. I haven't opened anything else up. The sat booster's still all cellophaned up. Yeah, so let's open it then. So I think I remember buying one bundle, or whatever they were called back in the day, for probably one of the Ravnica ones. Oh, this doesn't appear to be much. Oh, there we go. I don't know if this is supposed to have cards in it. Give me a second. I have some random. Not easy. Oh, there we go. in my bin beside me. Will this fit a card? Oh no. Okay. So first of all, as someone who's just coming back, I do. If they're gonna have a big box of cardboard here, just taking up the extra space, the least they could do is make it a bit bigger. So it cannot fit a card like that. It's like a solid centimetre at least difference. And at which point, why? It's also, it needs to be a tiny bit taller as well. If they make it like 1.1 centimetres or so, 1.2 centimetres what am I thinking? Wider, and then 2 centimeters taller. You'll be able to do some card storage in that. Come on, that is a complete waste. Right, moving on. Oh, I also. you're gonna cry now, aren't you? For me constantly not getting around to it. I bought this as well to actually keep track of everything before I cube it up. So that would be useful. The current set and the one before it. What else do we have? We got the wedding invitation. Edgar. So to get caught up, I read the main storyline for Midnight Hunt, and I'm just about to start the side stories. So it looks like she's not marrying Sorin, which I thought is what she was trying to do. But that's pretty cool. RSVP. He'll be eating the guest. Right. So reasonable quality. I don't see any noticeable nicks on it or anything like that. Yeah, cool. Oh, I've put some tissue down. This is my oversized life counter. It's a pinky purpley and grey with red lettering. Actually, it was really nice. I like that. What do we have in here? Oh, it's telling you how to play. Is it literally it? I downloaded the Wizards app and look at. I think it was the Wizards app. It could have been another app that also had the rules for Magic, and on my phone, which is a pretty big phone, it was going like 4,000 pages or something. I was like, what? I did not know Magic was that complicated. There we go. It tells you about the popular formats. Tells you about the turn sequence. How to cast spells and attack and blocking. So all of the normal stuff that new players would need to know, so that's good. Of course, I already know how to play, unless they did some weird changes that I'm not aware of. I know at some point in, I think it is in Ravnica, they changed how Planeswalker, or how Legendaries worked. If I remember correctly, each side can have a Legendary of the same creature, I think. How the hell do you open this? Where's the... God. Well, I think this is going to be all of the lands. And we get 20 basic and 20 foils. Here we go. So we've got our promo, or the, I don't know what did I call it a promo? Cigar Summons. Makes everything into a 4/4 flying angel if they have +1 counters on them, so they're going to be at least 5/5 angels. No, sorry, 6. 5 6s at a minimum. That's really cool. Doesn't look damaged doing anyway, so that's good. I've been hearing a lot of bad things about the quality of this set in terms of card stock. but here we go. All of our foil lands. These look like just any typical land that you'll see anywhere, even if they are foil. And regular land. Okay. Oh, this is new. They have a little pocket here. They didn't have that in the last one I did. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, that seems slightly worrying. This did have wrapper on it, so they should have been completely untouched, but I don't like the look at the tops of these, unless they've gone down in quality on the packaging. I'm going to be really disappointed if these are. Let me check the other side as well. I suppose we'll find out if we get anything good. We know that it's been untouched. Okay, so we've got a art card. We've got a fancy mountain. Cold Lancer. Got a Skulker. Blood Crazed Socialite. Ava Book Caretaker. Okay, well there you go. That kind of proves that they are untouched, because that's one of the more expensive cards in the set. Oh, there we go. Can you see it? Probably not. Maybe I should turn on auto-focusing. Normally I don't do that. Give me a second. Autofocus. It might get weird. No. Well, either way, you can see it. It's 6 costing, so it's actually pretty expensive, but it is in green, so who cares? 4/4 hexproof, human werewolf. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on another creature you control. And then it's got Daybound, and it turns into a 6/6 hexproof. Other permanents you control have hexproof, which is awesome. Not just werewolves, but permanents, all of them. At the beginning of your combat turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters. So, oof, yes, very nice. Very, very nice. We're going to put that over there. Alchemist Retrieval as a foil. We've got a Blood Crazed Socialite as the bordered one, and then our commons. So uncommons, we're going to put that, and we're going to put our special lands there. Oh my god, I'm running out of space. Okay. I'm just going to put that. Okay, so this is making me feel so much better. That is considerably... That's good. That's one less I have to buy or have trouble trading for. So let's go for the second one. Much better. Much more enthusiasm. Okay, where am I going to put that? I'm just going to... over there. You won't see it. So, got another card here. For... I should probably see what the other one was. Witness the Future was the first one. And then this one is Blood Crazed Socialite. Then I've got a Swamp. Then we've got a Boarded Window. A Diver Scab. Cannot wait to do a zombie deck. I did a mono blue scab deck, so mono blue zombie in the first Innistrad, and I loved it. So it's commons, weird order here. Got a Voldarin Epicure as my fancy bordered one. A Breathe Keeper Seraph, which is flying soulbound. As long as it is paired with another creature, you can flicker if it dies. And it's a 6 costing 4/4 angel. Oh, I do wish they brought like a lot more back. And holy... Okay, that's... These definitely haven't been opened. Okay, so that's the Seraph. Oh, I actually do need another one probably for... You can probably tell what's in my hand. Bloody hell, move, put the rares there. Right, next card along. Cultivator Colossus. Again, one of the most expensive cards. Absolutely amazing. My god, that didn't do anything on it. Oh, there we go. It's a plant beast, it's 7. It's got trample. Its power and toughness are equal to the lands you control. When it enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. Absolutely amazing. I've already paid for the bundle, I believe. I'm pretty certain, or very close to it. Oh, holy shit! It's just right. Okay, and we have a Path to Peril, which is a sorcery, 3 costing, cleave for 6 with a white in it. Destroy all creatures. As my foiled rare. I'm just going to put that on the rare pile. And a blood token. This has gone well so far. Now, these are much tougher to open than they used to be, I swear. Oh, we've got a Cemetery Gatekeeper for my fancy looking art card. Got a forest. I think forests and swamps are my favourites for this set. Honeymoon Hearse. Groom's Finery. Child of the Pack. Gluttonous Guest as my fancy border. Oh, and a Belligerent Guest as a fancy border. A Splendid Reclamation. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Nothing fancy. A Foil Repository Scab. And a list card, Undead Slayer. I don't think that's worth anything, but it's a decent card actually. 3 costing 2/2. For white you can tap it and exile target skeleton, vampire or zombie, which works out perfectly for Innistrad if we were allowed to use it. But I suppose in Commander, all of the different commander sets for Innistrad have made it slightly more useful if you're playing white and humans. So I don't know what I'm doing with that, but I don't know, what do I do? Just put it in there. Alright, there we go. Not even halfway through. This is looking good. Oh, that's a nice one. Ancestor's Embrace. So, sheep herder. Very nice. Got an island. Alright, then we got a Arc Ghoul of Thraban, Undead Butler, Infestation Expert. I might try and do a meme insect deck. Alright, Fancy Border. Oh, that is a very nice one. Ores of Coloured Borders are awesome. This is a Markov Purifier, another Belligerent Guest, and a Blood Crazed Socialite. Then we got a Consuming Tide. Each player chooses a non-land permanent they control. Return all others not chosen to their owner's hands. And then draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than you. Then we've got we've got an Evolving Wilds in foil. I'd imagine that costs a pretty penny. I joke. JK, JK. Right, collect a card. Gift of Fangs. And a mountain. We got a Skull Scab, Felstinger. Then Fancy Border, we've got a Restless Bloodseeker, a Bloodsworn Squire. For a rare, we've got a Hello Henge Overlord, which is a wolf. 4/4 flash for 6. At the beginning of your upkeep, for each creature you control that's a wolf or a werewolf, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. Bloody hell. Oof. That can get out of hand quickly. So for 6, you'll actually end up getting at least 4 at least what am I thinking? At least 3? No. I say not when it comes in. Yeah, I mean that's a 2-drop essentially. You'll do it at the end of your opponent's turn. But I like that. That's cool. That seems constructed deck playable. Ooh, then we've got a Shattered Sanctum, which is the Orzhov dual land. Thank you very much. Wait, what set was that Hollowed Overlord from? It's got a different symbol on it. I'll have to look at where that comes from. That might not be Innistrad. Maybe it was a list one? Okay. Oh, and then we've got a foil Felstinger. Okay, Markov Waltzer for my collector card. Another Swamp. Boarded Window, Diver Scab. Really weird order to some of these. Voldaren Epicure, Markov Purifier for my fancy borders. Howling Moon, at the beginning of combat on your turn, target wolf or werewolf gets +2/+2. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, create a 2/2 green wolf token. Then we've got a foil Restless Blood Seeker. I don't know whether to put that in fancy or foil. I'm going to put that in fancy, because that's got a fancy border on it. Also, another card from the list. Nuance Engine. Put a 2 and tap for 3. Put a 0/1 colorless pest artifact. Feature token onto the battlefield. Okay, fair enough. Doesn't look all that exciting. Number 2, so 2 from the last, like number 7, I should say. Right, I've got a signed Bloodveil Purveyor. Then we got a Plains. I don't know what it is about the Plains, but this looks entirely mono. Also, the Swamp, that might be foil. But, oh, regardless, there we go. Hero's Downfall, Markov Retribution. Another weird. Why are there 2 commons back there? Or maybe it's flip cards. Maybe flip cards come after uncommons. I'll check with the set booster box. Right, Hero Downfall, that one. A Blood Petal Celebrant for a fancy border. A Hullbreaker Horror for my rare, which is a Kraken Horror, 7/8 for 7. Flash, can't be countered, and whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand. I'm really confused by this wording. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand. Does that just mean... Yeah, but a spell is a permanent, isn't it? Or is it a spell during the cast? Which basically just means something on the stack. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. But then, yeah, that's separate. The only way I see that working is if spell was while you were casting it only. But that's a really weird wording. I'll need to look into that. But cool. And then we've got a foil Chill of the Grave. Oh, these are getting a bit messy. Well, that did not help at all. Nice if I had one more good card, but so far I can't complain. Right, got a Griff Rider as my collectible and an island. Okay, Skulking Killer, Vampire's Vengeance, Dread Figure. Oh, sorry, Dread Fugue? Yeah, Dread Fugue. And then, yes, okay, so if it's a flip card, it must be behind the uncommons. Interesting. Fancy Border, Alluring Suitor. Edgar, Charmed Groom, as my rare. Other vampires you control get +1/+1. When he dies, it gets transformed into the legendary artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white and black vampire with lifelink and put a bloodline counter on Coffin. If there are 3 or more counters, transform it. Oh right, okay, so unless you exile him, he never dies. That's really cool. Neat. And then we've got a Blood Hypnotist foil. Alright, so as someone who is interested in Cube, this was amazing. I didn't get any duplications. I got some pretty good mid-range rares. I think Hullbreaker's is a couple of quid. Edgar, I think, is a couple of quid. We've got the land, that's a couple of quid. Got to figure out where this Overlord thing came from. That looks like... So I haven't played in 7 years outside of Arena, and then only recently. I think that's Dominaria. Could be wrong. Foil Path of Peril. So anything unique like this, like foil rares or Fancy Border, has even more value for cubing. But yeah, that's really, really good on the rare front. On the Mythic and Cultivator and Caretaker are absolutely fantastic. I think the only Mythics that are more is Sorin. So incredibly solid. Lots of Fancy Border. I like these guys. Some of them again foiled. Absolutely perfect for cubing. Got some regular foils here. Nothing too exciting on this end, but Evolving Wilds foil is actually quite nice for the cube, believe it or not. On the uncommons, we're going to need basically 2 of each of these. And I think I've got most of these already. Anything that I don't should make it 2. Everything except the multicolour. So multicolour is the one that's going to be a pain. These are the fancy. Yeah. See, let me take a look at that next to a regular swamp. They are the same art, and yeah, that is a foil. Yeah, cool. Oh, I really do like these full art lands. I think they're much more unique than the Zendikar ones. Like, the Zendikar ones are much more vibrant, there's no denying that. But the gloss finish over the edging really stands out. I like those. I like those a lot. Okay, so that was my bundle. Super excited. Glad I bought that. I'm going to go ahead and put those in my collector book. And then in the next video, I will open up the set booster. Well, set booster box, I should say. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And have a good day.